Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. For today's video I wanted to take you on a journey to the north coast of Cornwall, where I recently photographed at two locations, the first being above Ivey's Bay and the second being Tintagel Beach. With both locations I was trying to photograph the Northern Lights, and although that didn't quite work out on the nights, there were still 2 nights of really good astrophotography. Now I didn't do a lot of 2-camera filming, but I'll include a voiceover in the video talking about all the highs, all the lows, as well as showing the results from both nights. So let's jump straight in. As I set out on this night's journey to Mother Ivey's Bay, the beauty of the sky was immediately captivating. The moon's soft glow illuminated the rugged coastline, adding a quiet brilliance to the scene. The wind whipped across the open ground, blowing offshore, which meant shooting from the cliff would be particularly challenging. However, the beach below offered some hope of shelter. Reaching the water's edge, I paused for a moment to appreciate the view. The moonlight reflected off the waves and the shoreline stretched quietly under the night sky. After setting up the tripod and working through a few compositions, the scene felt calm and peaceful. The sound of the waves and the stillness of the stars created a sense of balance that made the effort worthwhile for this particular spot. My first photo of the night was this composition looking towards the lifeboat station. Normally I'm not a fan of clouds in my shots, but in this case I feel they add a touch of depth and atmosphere. If you look closely, you can just make out the faint glow of the northern lights on the horizon. Unfortunately, the moonlight was so bright it washed out most of the northern light colour, but it still made for a striking scene. Before packing up, I took one last look at the scene. The waves crashing under the moonlight, the clouds drifting across the stars. It was a moment to take it all in, appreciate the beauty and challenge of the night. Then I headed up the cliff edge for one final viewpoint, hoping to capture something even more interesting to end the night on. The photo of the night was this one, taken from the cliff edge. Unfortunately, the relentless wind made it nearly impossible to capture a perfectly crisp and sharp image. It was a frustrating challenge, but one that comes with the territory of outdoor photography. What made the night even tougher was getting home after this shot, only to find out that as the moon set, the Northern Lights really came to life. A vivid display lit up the coast, a moment that I sadly missed because I was driving home. It's a reminder that sometimes timing and luck just aren't on your side, but it's all part of the journey. Later in the month, I had the chance to visit a location I've been wanting to explore for quite some time, Tintagel. The northern light conditions were looking promising again, and it felt like the perfect opportunity to capture something special along this dramatic stretch of coastline. Unlike my earlier trip, this night was moonless and the sky was much darker, offering incredible viewing conditions for the stars. And even the bright constellation of Orion was rising in the southeast, which was interesting to view. My first photo of the night was this panorama featuring the beautiful coastline waterfall cascading down the shoreline. I had envisioned this composition for a while, hoping to capture it with the Northern Lights as a stunning backdrop. Unfortunately, the Northern Lights didn't materialise this time, but the scene was still incredible in its own right. I repositioned my composition to the left compared to my previous shot to include these interesting foreground rocks while still capturing the cliffs and waterfalls in the background. This image ended up being my favourite from the night. Just something about the balance that I really like, and the sky continued to look stunning as the night went on. Although I captured a few more compositions, this is the final image from the night that I wanted to share. I focused on featuring the constellation of Ursa Major, which was beautifully positioned at the time of night. I also wanted to highlight the bay's charming little island, creating a simpler composition, but one I was really pleased to end the night with. Well, that wraps up this video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to leave a comment. I'm always interested in striking up a conversation and hearing your views. Until next time, that's hope for some clear skies.